Okay, so I'm here to explain what happens when the moon goes into the sixth house in our birth chart. So, what is the sixth house? The sixth house represents everyday enemies, conflicts, and debts, and our health and diseases, small pets, and small animals. An example of like everyday issues and stuff that we deal on a regular basis could be, bullies or people at our 9 to 5 job or traffic or paying our taxes and handling bills and I don't know, little things like that. You get a flat tire or your hot water stops working in your house. Just these little obstacles that we got to deal in our life on an everyday basis. That is why this house is originally ruled by Virgo and Mercury, because you need a sharp analytical mind to deal with these everyday problems and conflicts. And the sixth house can represent like a routine 9 to 5 job. The sixth house can represent just being of service to other people. It's like the work and the energy that you provide and give away to other people. That is why the sixth house represents like debts, because you're giving your money away to pay your bills. It represents 9 to 5 jobs because you're working underneath someone, and you're exerting your energy, you're giving it to your job, and then you're using that money that you exerted towards your job to go handle this bill and stuff. Maybe like the 10th house represents like planets in the 10th house mainly represent like being your own boss. Certain planets in the 10th house, but the 6th house represents that rigorous routine job that you do on a regular day-to-day basis, and all those other things that I just said prior to this. And what is the moon? The moon represents our mind, our emotions, our mother, the way we think, the way we feel. We behave more so like our moon than we do our sun. Sun, rising sign, and moon are very important, but the moon, you see that more often than you do your sun, because like I said, the moon is more so associated with the mind, especially in Vedic sidereal astrology. And the moon is like it's like the fastest moving body, planetary body in our solar system. It stays in the sign for 2.5 days. It rules the 4th house in Cancer, which in the Cancer is a water sign. Our mind is like water. Our mind is easily manipulated and can be easily influenced and contaminated and stuff. It's very reflective and all that stuff. So that's why the moon is sort of associated with our mind, not Mercury. Mercury is our intelligence. Mercury is sort of like our communicative abilities and our ability to solve problems like the 6th house. Anyway, when these two come together, moon in the 6th house, this is a very stressful position for the moon to be in, because when moon goes into the 6th house, it is possible that someone has a lot of conflicts and maybe a negative potential relationship with their mother, because the moon is this soft, delicate placement. It's our mind, and the 6th house is struggles and debts and bills and conflicts. It's like a war zone of the everyday world. And so therefore the mind, the moon, can sort of be like negatively affected in this house. So that's one of the things you can see. Someone with moon in the 6th house could possibly have a negative relationship with the mother. The mind can just be very stressed out. The person could be just very, I don't know, bipolar, because the mind is just very stressed out. The mind is sort of scattered, and it's always just always nitpicking. It's always looking for a problem in a situation or for someone. Their mind is just always looking forward to handling and dealing with the next task, and in the process it gets stressed out. Think of the moon in the 6th house in a way. It's like a single parent who has to take care of the kids for whatever reason, and they got to juggle all these bills and do 2 jobs, work 3 jobs. They work all damn day so that they can provide for their kids and keep the house afloat. Put yourself in that position. I think that you would be very stressed out. You'd be very angry and cranky and irritated if you had to be the only one to take care of all the bills in the household and take care of the kids, and you got to work all these jobs, and you got to worry about all these things. You got to worry about your kids getting sick. You got to worry about you getting sick because you can't afford to get sick. You get sick, then everything falls apart, you know? So that's like how the moon is when it's in the 6th house. It's very stressed out. It's under a lot of pressure, you know? So on one side, this can sort of make the moon very sharp, make your mind very sharp, but it can also sort of make you paranoid, always looking and expecting some problem, always looking and expecting some situation. It could drive you crazy, make you very emotional, possibly can affect your relationship with your mother. Almost basically sort of similar to what can happen if you got moon in Virgo, but mainly more so you see these traits in moon in the 6th house. On a positive note, some of moon in the 6th house, they can be very catering to other people. They can be very nurturing to other people because the 6th house is a house about, you know, being of service to other people. Like I said, you work at your 9-to-5 job, that can be sort of tiresome, but at the end of the day, you're offering a service to your job or offering a service to your customers or whatever you're doing. It represents healing. It represents health and diseases. It represents small pets and animals. So you see like a veterinarian. So there's a sense of nurturance with moon in the 6th house. Someone with moon in the 6th house, like I said, they can be very prone to want to take care and handle other people's problems, and they can just be very nurturing and catering, and they could probably pursue a profession being, like I said, a pediatrician or a veterinarian or a doctor, or, you know, they can just be very charitable people, donate money to homeless people and all that good stuff. So that's one of the things that you see here with moon in the 6th house. And the remedy for people who have moon in the 6th house, who are really stressed out or whatever, is the 12th house, because the opposite of the 6th house is the 12th house. The 12th house represents spirituality and isolation and imprisonment and all that good stuff. So the remedy for these people with their very stressed out minds from the everyday problems of the world, with the hustle and bustle of the world and dealing with bills and their 9-to-5 job and all that stuff, is, you know, find some alone time, meditate, you know, yeah, short and simple, isolation, meditate, peace and solitude. That is the remedy for someone with moon in the 6th house. You know, someone with moon in the 6th house, they can really be attached and love animals and all that, because I just told you this was small pets and animals. But I'm just talking in circles right now, make sure I didn't forget nothing. But that is basically what happens when the moon goes into the 6th house in the birth chart. And I hope this gave you great insight and clarity on what happens when moon goes into the 6th house in your birth chart. And thank you for watching this video. Thanks.